Morals and Dogma, Chapter 4, The Secret Master. Symbols were used not to reveal, but to conceal. You are in the path that leads up the slope of the mountain of truth, and it depends upon your secrecy, obedience, and fidelity whether you will advance or remain stationary. The streams of learning that now flow full and broad must be followed to their heads in the springs that well up in the remote past. He who desires to understand the harmonious and beautiful proportions of Freemasonry must read, study, reflect, digest, and discriminate. Knowledge is the most genuine and real of human treasures, for it is light, as ignorance is darkness. It is the development of the human soul, and its acquisition is the growth of the soul. By learning, man excelleth man, and ascendeth to the heavens and their motions. That our influences shall survive us and be living forces when we are in our graves, our works read, our acts spoken of, our names recollected and mentioned as evidences that those influences live and rule, sway and control some portion of mankind and of the world. This is the aspiration of the human soul. We see then how the monuments of genius and learning are more durable than monuments of power or of the hands. For have not the verses of Homer continued 2,500 years or more, during which time palaces, temples, castles, and cities have decayed and been demolished? They cast their seeds in the minds of others, provoking and causing infinite actions and opinions in succeeding ages. Letters, works, and ideas, as ships, pass through the vast seas of time. To learn, to attain knowledge, to be wise, is a necessity for every truly noble soul. To teach, to communicate that knowledge and share that wisdom with others is equally an impulse of a noble nature. Wisdom is better than strength. If it should chance to you, my brother, to do mankind good service, and you be rewarded with indifference and forgetfulness only, still be not discouraged. Sow you the seed. Learn that you may be enabled to do good, and do so because it is right, finding in the act itself ample reward and recompense. To attain the truth and serve our fellows, country, and mankind. This is the noblest destiny of man. Hereafter and all your life, it is to be your object. If you will advance, gird up your loins for the struggle, for the way is long and toilsome. Pleasure, all smiles will beckon you on the one hand, and indolence on the other. Prepare by secrecy, obedience, and fidelity to resist the allurements of both, duties that must be performed even at the risk of life. Our heart we cannot constrain. In our heart, virtue must still have a voice, not to be drowned out. In this degree you are especially to learn the duty of obedience to that law which calls to the fulfillment of duty and abstinence from injustice. No man can disobey it without repudiating his nature. Conscience must be taught by God and conducted by reason. When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it. It is better thou shouldest not vow then thou shouldest vow and not pay. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou art upon earth. Therefore, let thy words be few. Weigh well what it is you promise, but once the promise and pledge are given, remember that he who is false to his obligation will be false to his family, friends, country, and God. Good faith, trust, and your word are to be kept. Let not that which seems expedient be base, or if it be base, let it not seem expedient. What is there which that so-called expediency can bring so valuable as that which it taketh away if it deprives you of the name of a good man and robs you of your integrity and honor? Your word once given must be sacred. Calamity should always be chosen rather than baseness, and die rather than be dishonored. Let me make a quick side comment on that last thought we just read about die rather than be dishonored. I think this applies to keeping your virtue and keeping your word and being an upstanding man or woman. I don't think it's talking about a situation out in the world where if someone were to call you a bad name, that you should feel offended and feel like you have to fight that person for your honor and then possibly become involved in violence where you or that other person could get hurt. Be faithful, therefore, to the promises you make, the pledges you give, and the vows you assume. Be faithful to your family and perform all the duties of a good father, a good son, a good husband, and a good brother. Be faithful to your friends. Be faithful to your country and consult in its interest rather than your own. The pleasure and gratification of people are often at variance with their welfare. Peace, harmony, and goodwill. Liberty, equality, fraternity. Be a man of honor and conscience, preferring your duty to everything else, even to your life. Be kind and indulgent and ready to assist by all means in your power. Thus you will do honor to the name and rank of Secret Master.